If you've ever stared at your list of created products and wondered to yourself, do I really need to launch this? Is anybody going to care? Or worse, maybe you have 10 half finished projects lying around and you kind of like lost all interest and have zero, and I mean zero, motivation to finish them up. No clarity, no direction, none of it. You're not alone. I used to overthink absolutely every decision that I needed to make for my handmade business, regardless of how big or small it was. I thought that making more products meant selling more products. I thought that buying more things made me more successful. I thought that showcasing absolutely all of the amazingness was leading people my way, but that's just not the case. What it really ended up doing was making me feel less than, or like a bad business owner, or like I was doing something wrong and I was the only person and everybody else was way more successful than me, which of course led to two things: the burnout and the lack of motivation to move forward and pick myself up out of that feeling. This year, I run my business really differently. And I think that many of you would be surprised to hear that it was just one simple shift that got me from that low to running super, super high. Let's dive into it. If you've been around here for a while on the Formulate with LV channel, you already know this, but there are so many new viewers coming. I just want to take a quick second to introduce myself. My name is Sarah and I run LV Collection. It is a very hyper focused product based business. I love to make candles, soap, and body products. I feel it's like the trifecta of handmade businesses on the self care end of things. For a while, I was really doing absolutely everything that I could because my end goal was quitting my day job. I am a teacher and I was kind of feeling like, okay, you know what? I want to put all of my eggs in this basket and I want this to take off and I want to quit teaching. I want a store. I want this. I wanted the whole thing. And kind of over time, what I realized was several things. But number one, I really don't actually want to quit my day job, right? I wanted to because I thought that was the only measure of success. But what I started seeing was that that is not at all the case, right? You can have that as your measure of success, but you don't have to. Okay. And that is kind of where things took a really good turn for me. I was running myself into the ground to try and make it happen, when in reality, I should have been focusing on how to scale this wonderful business that my daughter and I made without having to quit. I don't want to lose my salary. I don't want to lose my pension. And I feel like that's what makes me so different. This is not my full time job, but you can do it. I have three kids. They all play sports. We're in prime sports season now. But even with that busy after school schedule or after the day job schedule, you can still create beautiful collections, bring joy to people, fulfill your own passions, and make a little bit of extra money. So that's kind of where I came from, or where I'm going to, whichever of those, whichever of those scenarios apply. So let's kind of go back a little bit, back to those days where I was really just kind of struggling to put product out there. I was trying to be on Fair. I was trying to grow on Instagram. I was growing this YouTube channel. I was making the products. I was doing the markets, making the email list, signing people up for that email list, and trying to build retail relationships. Now, for a while, that really looked like chasing trending products, making things last minute, having the tiniest spark of an idea and like really, really running with it. And things were really great. But what ended up happening, obviously the excitement of it wore off because it wasn't doing anything to actually grow my business. It was just kind of confusing everyone, including myself. And of course, once the excitement faded, I was second guessing everything. I was spending so much time, so much time and actual money that I will not get back on products that never sold, using all of my raw ingredients, making me unable to fulfill wholesale orders when they came in. The problem was never that I needed more, but I thought that was the case because I didn't see other handmade business owners, especially kind of in my like specialty area, having these struggles. I was seeing all of their sales, and it led me to believe that it was my products that were the problem, right? Or the amount of products that I had that was the problem. And it just isn't true. So I'm here with this video to explain that to you because no one else is talking about it. But you don't actually need more products. In fact, you probably have too many as it is. What we actually need is a better system to decide which ones are worth making in the first place. Now, instead of asking what can I add or what's going to be the next thing my customers purchase from me or what will make customers obsess with my brand, instead, I am asking what role does this play in my collection? How is this product helping me tell LV's story? Now, these product angles, there are four of them, right? So each of these product angles is going to give your brand a unique selling perspective to customers. And if you want to sell a product, make sure your product or your idea hits at least one of them. The first product angle is called your anchor product. This is your go-to. This is your always in stock. This is your historical bestseller. This is the bottom line, you could think of it as, for your collection and for your brand. It doesn't matter what collection you're going to come out with next, this product will have a place in it. And that could mean it's a specific fragrance or a specific product itself, like a candle. It could mean it's your like signature way of making your candles, right? Like maybe you use a signature wax and a wooden wick, or maybe you use these translucent 3-wick vessels. It's totally up to you. But if you're focusing on the anchor product, it's going to be that signature, that go-to. People can always get it. It helps customers build trust in your brand because they know if they fall in love with this product, they are going to be able to get it whenever they need it again. Now, the second angle is where my exact passion lies, and that is the storytelling angle. This one, I do feel like you really have to dig deep in order to hit home with that storytelling message or the messaging that you're trying to get across if you want it to really resonate with your customers. But if you nail it, and trust me, the more you practice it, the better you will get. You're a natural born storyteller, then just bring it to life, create an essence surrounding your brand and telling your story. It will hook your customers every single time. Now, the third angle that's going to kind of help you make this shift and help things be more manageable so you can find your level of success and achieve your level of success is the signature product with a twist. So you have your anchor products. You could kind of use the terms interchangeably if it's an anchor product or if you say signature product or your go-to, your core, all of those things, right? They kind of talk about the same product. So you take that product and you put a twist on it. People absolutely love this. And I know I used this same example previously, but it's true. My historical best-selling candle is Chapter Book, okay? My Chapter Book candle is absolutely phenomenal. It is the Fragrance Haunted Library from Simbi. People ask for it all the time. It is always a quick seller for me. That is one of my anchor products. It's in my anchor collection. It's an anchor fragrance. So anchor, 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 anchor. Okay. Now, what I did for the fall in my Whispers of Fall collection was I upgraded or changed around my vessels because I wanted to try out a 3-wick vessel. So I talked about it on my personal Facebook. I'm not going a like huge Instagram route. I'm really trying to focus in on my personal relationships and, making products for the people that are in my local community. So I put that on there. And one of my dear friends asked for a Chapter Book candle in this same format or in the same vessel. So it's my signature product, but it's a twist. It's a new vessel, it's a new type of offering, but I'm not having to kind of go out of my way to create something brand new. I'm taking something that they already love, something they already know and trust, and presenting it to them in a new way. It matches the season, it matches the collection, the aesthetic is there, the trust is there. It's an easy sale. And of course, we have to have a limited offering product angle. And this one I feel like is the least like I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but it's like kind of like the least coolest of the angles themselves, right? But it is flashy, and people like flashy if they already know they can trust you. So if you're building your products based on these product angles and you have secured your anchor products and you've got these signature collections and things are going well, right? You're telling your story, you're building and building and building. You drop that limited edition product, and your customers, they're already going to be obsessed with you. They're already going to trust you. They are going to buy it. And that is the key to all of those super successful businesses out there that drop a product and it immediately sells out. You can't do that until you make your customers obsessed with you. And they will not obsess over you until you have proven yourself worthy by storytelling, offering them these anchor products, and then twisting them to show your kind of fun or creative side. The thing I love most about discussing product angles and how to use it as a strategy for your business is over time, you can use any of them interchangeably. Okay. You have the information. As you like learn about them, you can use the anchor product for this collection, and then next collection you can make it a full-on storytelling moment, and the collection after that you can drop your limited edition. You don't have to use one at a time, and you don't have to use one forever. This can really vary. I wouldn't go like any faster than like per collection personally, because again, I'm not trying to just throw stuff out there. I want to provide value, and I want my customers to really trust and love and feel that I respect them and the community that we are building together. But you can use all of them in different times and in different kind of like eras of your business. Now, the limited edition is great because we don't want to necessarily go in the scarcity marketing territory. I don't really like that. To me, it feels very bro, like it feels very like, I don't know, icky. It just doesn't align with the passion that I like to base my business in. So I don't tend to market it scarcely or say, once it's gone forever. And that may be you, and that's totally fine. It's just not me and like the way that I prefer to word it. So I call it a small batch. I call it a personally created. I call it a special moment. I call it a heartfelt set. I use words that send the signal to the customer that I want to purchase this because it might not be around forever, but if I don't, it's going to be okay. Of course, we want them to buy it, but that might not be everybody's reality. Buying your $30 fall candle may not be for everyone, and that's totally okay. You don't want to market it in a way that makes the customer feel bad if they're not able to purchase it, right? Sure, we want them to kind of feel like maybe they would be missing out on something, but you don't want to like tear them down because that's not going to help them trust you either. It's not going to grow your community. It's going to create kind of like that weird back and forth where they kind of feel bad. So maybe they don't like your posts anymore. They feel guilty. So they stop leaving comments telling you how much they like your products. We never want that to be the case. And you are at risk of that if you use that language to create that super scarcity mindset. So just kind of be weary of that one. That one I do like to put that caveat in there because I don't think that people talk about that a lot. And I think when people talk about limited edition, they present it in a way that makes it seem like there's only one way to do it. And again, as we keep learning, especially if you are a subscriber of my channel, which thank you so much if you are, there's more than one way to do this. And there's more than one way to get to your preferred level of success. So if you are stuck, if you're overthinking everything, if you're feeling like, you have this passion to build a business, but everything you're doing is wrong, I want you to take this truth away from today's video. You don't need 20 products. You don't need 15 different candle vessels or 30 loaves of soap with different designs. What you actually need is a strategy and an angle in which you sell your products. Once I started like taking my ideas and actually running them through this list of product angles that I knew would help me be successful, it was really easy and super clear to see what was a good fit, what I was just trying to distract myself with. It did. It changed the way that I ran my business and it gave me my passion back. It made me feel so good about creating new products. I stopped second guessing and started really focusing in. It also helped me feel super confident in the products that I was launching. And all of the collections that I have planned and executed since then truly felt lighter, and it felt like a real reflection of what I was trying to portray to my customers in the first place. And that, my friends, is where we are going to end today's video. Let me know down below, which angle do you feel like resonates with you, just kind of like right off the break. I know that I'm a storyteller, so for me, that would be like the most likely one I would gravitate towards, but I'm curious to see the breakdown of people that watch my channel. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, and I will be back next week. Don't forget to check out the description box below, and I will see you next week. Bye.